Hello, I'm Maria from the Richardson's Homeschool Life. Today we're at Folly Farm. It's farm, as you can see there's a fairground and there's also a zoo. But I'm just showing you around the fairground. It's an old-fashioned fairground. It's really nice. I love it. I love the music. Used to play 50s and 60s music, especially 50s, but it seems to be a bit more modern now. It's more 80s music and it just doesn't go in with the setting of the theme park because they are old-fashioned rides. You know, your proper old fairground rides that you used to get in the early to mid 1900s. You can see I'm just having a look around. It's quite empty. The fairground was a bit staggered how it opened. There was only so many rides open at a time. But at this point we were having a look around because we wanted to see what Sian could go on. You see, she couldn't go on them, they was too high. But because she's got her leg in a plaster cast, we really wanted to know what she could do at Folly Farm and how they treated people like Sian at Folly Farm, because it read on their web page, that they were really good with disabilities. So I'm thinking, well, you know, it depends obviously what type of disability you got, but what can they go on? What can they do? Well, Sian's is only a temporary disability, and it was just a case that she's got her leg in a plaster cast because she's broken her ankle. So I thought, well, we'll see what we can do. When we went in, we was really impressed. I asked for 3 adults and a child. Well, actually, no, it was 2 adults and a child and a concession, because they do concession rates starting at 60 plus. So Dean fell in that category. He wasn't too impressed, but I thought it's great because it saves a couple of quid, but he's not keen on being called old. But I think on here, this is the Speedway Raceway or something. It's called Speed Racer or something, I don't know. Well, on here, Sian did go on, because you can see the seats. There's like horses and there's open seats that you can sit on. So she was able to go on. And they were really good because they helped her up with the crutches and she came back down. They gave her the crutches when it finished so she could come back down. But yeah, like I was saying about going in entrance, I asked for what I wanted and then they said, no, you get a free carer's place. And I'm like, well, she's not disabled. You know, she's just broke her ankle, but they insisted that we had a carer's place because they classed her as disabled. So again, we got a free place, and it was an adult place as well. So we did get a free place and the concession rate. So they are really good like that. So we did ask on individual rides, you know, if she was allowed on when we decided what she could go on. And this was one of them. I can't remember now, it's going to bug me now, Speedway Racer, something like that. But yeah, because they'd got like open seats, like chair things on them, she could get on there easily. There was quite a few steps going up, but she's learnt to hop up on her crutches quite easily now. So that was fine. And like I say, the woman took the crutches off her, kept them down by the box, and then gave them her back when the ride stopped so she could get back down again. So they were really helpful, really good. And this is them going round and round, having a whale of a time. They're not on them long enough, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, these are really old rides. I love this park for the rides, the really old rides. I do like them. Far better than all these modern roller coasters where they throw you about. Even though I go on them all at Disney, but, you know, I do like these best. And there they are, see, in like a seat. And there was a woman going down to get her crutches. She could also go on the swinging chairs. She was all right there. I was a bit unsure at first because I thought, oh, would she get on them? I couldn't remember how high they were. And again, you can see steps going up and down, which she could hop up. But yeah, they were quite low down. You can see her feet's only on the ground, so she's having to lift them. Now, she's wearing a special shoe. It's the ankle that's broken is on the outside, so you can see it as she comes round, and she got a red plaster cast because she could pick a colour, so she chose red, her favourite colour, and she got a special shoe on, and it's only held on by Velcro. And we were joking about, oh no, I said, I'm not sure whether your shoe will fly because sometimes she trips out of it, which is a bit dangerous. and we was a bit worried, oh, what if it comes flying off and hits someone? So in a moment, you'll see Dean kept putting his hands out ready to catch the shoe. He was joking with her, I'll catch it if it comes flying off. So it was quite funny, but it didn't come flying off, luckily, because it's not all that secure, because it's just 2 strips of Velcro. But again, the man was really nice. She went up on her crutches, took the crutches, brought them back down. We brought them to her, so we held them, and then took them off us to give back to her when the ride had stopped. So they were really good, they're really helpful. So as long as a person is able to, you know, get to the ride and get on safely, they are more than happy for you to go on with some form of a disability. I mean, even the small rides, I haven't shown them on here, but you know, the little children's rides, if you've got a disabled older person that can only manage to go on the small children's ride, providing they can fit on them, they're quite happy for you to go on there. They don't mind. As long as you can get on and off safely, you know, they don't mind what you go on. They do really look out for you. They're very good. So you can see them going around. She was okay on that one. The only thing is, normally when we come to Folly Farm, she goes on things over and over again, and she does go on everything. There's bumper cars. I don't think I showed them in here. Well, they're supposed to be dodgems, but everybody bumps into each other, so they've always been known as bumper cars. But yeah, she goes on them. She goes on waltzers. This is like 2 different sorts. The Swizzler. She goes on everything, the galloping horses, and she'll go on them over and over again. But she just went on a few things that she could go on this time. And I said, do you want to do those few things again? And she said, no. So whether it was uncomfortable for her, or whether she just was mindful of her leg in plaster and just felt uncomfortable, and, you know, she just didn't want to do them. And I thought she might have just gone round again on the ones she could go on, but she didn't, which did surprise me, really. But I think, well, at least she went on things that she could go on. But I think she was a bit down in mouth because she couldn't go on everything like she normally does. She runs round and goes on them all day. See, like I was saying about paying to go into Folly Farm, you have to get tokens individually for each ride. So it's like 50p for one token. And no ride I've been on has taken more than 2 tokens. You either take 1 or 2. So you're paying 50p or £1 to go on each ride. I think this is the Caterpillar. She was able to go on the Caterpillar. She was all right on that, because as you can see, like the sides, she can hold on each side and hop into the carriage, and the same coming out. And because the ride is solid and steady, it doesn't move when she's getting in and out. She could do that okay. So yeah, she was on the Caterpillar. This was a favourite ride for people in the old times, courting couples, sort of 1920s, 1930s. And a bit later, they like going on this ride because when the top comes over, so it looks like a caterpillar, they were in the dark and no one could see them, and they'd have a quick cuddle, quick kiss and cuddle. So yeah, that was a popular ride for the younger folk, sort of 1920s upwards. You'll see the top coming over in a bit once it goes fast, and then it covers over. But she was okay on this ride. Again, they were really helpful. The woman took the crutches, brought them back down, left them by the box and took them back to her when the ride stopped. They were really good. You can see on the side there, actually, under the Caterpillar, it takes 2 tokens, so it would have been £1 to go on. Yeah, they enjoyed it. Normally she goes on this one quite a few times. Opposite this, they've got some flying aeroplanes, but they were far too high. There goes the top, look. Yeah, the planes were far too high and too awkward to get into, so she couldn't possibly do them. But they've never been one of her favourites anyway. She goes on them once and that's it, but this time she couldn't. So yeah, if you were a courting couple, sort of 1920s to 50s, you'd have been having a quick smooch under there. It's quite quite a good ride. They are really nice rides, and I love the music. Well, I did love the music. The 80s music doesn't fit in with it. I think you've got to sort of have rock and roll era music in there, like they used to have. That was really good. So I filmed the whole length of the ride so you can see how long the ride took. So they got a decent amount of time. It's not bad. Oh, now we're going round the zoo actually, because it's Folly Farm. It's an amusement park like you've just seen, and a zoo. So the zoo has built up brilliant over the last few years. It's really good. Because once upon a time there was just really farm animals, nothing much at all. Then the first giraffes in Wales came, and since then they've added more to it, quite a lot more to it. And they've got lions as well now, which is quite good. So, I mean, we've been looking at things on an education, or from an educational point of view, and you might think, oh well, fun fair's not really educational. Of course, we're there to enjoy ourselves, and that's where we go in the fun fair, because it's fun, and that's why we go in. But I mean, if you're a person who likes mechanical engineering, you're fascinated by how all these things work, you know, or even the history of fun fairs, you'd enjoy that, because it is an older one and it's a lot different from the modern roller coasters they do now. So yeah, you could learn things from that. But obviously the zoo part, you learn from there. They're educational places. Although, as you know, I'm always iffy about whether they should be locked up in small areas or not, because some of the areas do seem small. But Folly Farm's not too bad. I mean, I think the giraffe area is a lot bigger than the one that was in Twycross Zoo. So, you know, I'm so-so, I suppose. I'm so-so with it. Smaller animals are okay. I mean, these penguins are great. They're having a whale of a time. I could have sat and watched them all day. And they were sort of doing stunts. They were swimming on the side, and like they were showing off, really. So here we've got the giraffes. They are nice animals. I feel so tiny next to them. Yeah, I went outside looking for them, thinking, where are they? They're all inside. What typical, got to walk all the way around, find them. But it is a good place to go. And I haven't filmed the farm bit. I've done it on my own recordings, but I haven't put it up here with this. Because, I mean, well, a farm's a farm, but I had filmed the goats and that, because they are my favourite animals. I'd love a goat. But yeah, they've got the farm section. It's like a barn, and it's got animals in there. Your goats, got some llamas, it's got ponies, lots of chickens. It's got some rabbits, some guinea pigs. Where we've got the lionesses. So yeah, it's just like one big barn, the farm is, and it's got animals in, which is really nice. I mean, it's a great day out, you know, just if you're going for fun without education, but obviously you can't fail but to learn something. Oh, there we've got the lion. I was trying to get him to turn round. You know, I was going all angles and talking loud to see if he'd turn. But no, he was just lazing there, enjoying himself. I could only see his mane. He wasn't willing to move. He was just being lazy. But they've got quite a big area, but it's still not the same as being out free. He was a handsome one, he was. He seemed quite content anyway, just lazing there. When he yawned, he got great big teeth. I was trying to get a picture of his teeth, but it's impossible, really, unless they're right in front of you and you're actually filming at the time. It's impossible to capture what you want to capture. It is for me, anyway. I'm not the most brilliant with cameras. There he goes. He's off. Had enough. So yeah, it is really a good day out. I mean, if you're ever in that area, I do recommend going to Folly Farm. I can't think how much it was to go in. I think it was £19 something for concessions and children. Might have been 22 or 22 something for adults, something like that. But like I say, I got one adult for free because they insisted that we got the carers free place. And I mean, I haven't got any leaflets to show, because normally you're supposed to show leaflets and that to say that you've got carers, you are a carer. But no, it's almost like everybody in Wales was arguing with me, sort of, no, you should go in for free. And I'd be like, but I shouldn't. Dean says he's never heard anyone protest so much about paying for something. But, you know, camels. But I like to be honest. I don't want to sort of cheat people and say, oh no, she's disabled and I've forgotten the papers or whatever you'd say, you know. I don't want to be like that, and it is what it is, sort of thing. She's just got a broken ankle. Yes, it's a bit of a disability at the moment, but it's only temporary. It's not a permanent one. Not like she needs a carer. Yes, she does need extra help at the moment while it's like that. But I think it's really good of them, in all these places I went into, it was really good of them to give me the free places, you know, and I was thanking them all the time. Well, yeah, I mean, also, I was showing you the fairground, the rides that Sian could go on, the chairs, the caterpillar and that speedway racer. She also went on the ghost train. That was easy enough for her to go on to. But another one that we went on to is outside. It was the big wheel. Now, they've actually got a space where you can put a wheelchair in. They've got one carriage that you can just wheel in. And so the woman said to me, no, just wheel her in, she said. She put us in that one. She said, I'll wheel you in this one, save her getting out, coming up with the crutches. Just wheel you in there. And then she wouldn't even take the token off me for her. She said, no, she says, keep the token. So, like I said, everything was 1 or 2 tokens. But I think that was 1 token, the big wheel. But she wouldn't even take the token off me for her. She insisted that I didn't give it her. So I'm thinking, gosh, everybody's playing all this free stuff on me there, and I'm saying, no, it's okay. But it was really good of them. You know, they really do go that bit extra for you when you have got disabilities. Sian liked these, the red pandas Sian liked there. She loved that. She got herself some red panda ears. So yeah, that's it now. Tomorrow I'm coming back with the garden collab, which is hosted by Victoria from the Home Educating the Mad Lads. So tomorrow I shall post my garden. So bye for now.